Hey guys, my name is Rift and welcome to the channel. Today I'd like to talk about Cyberpunk 2077 on PC after the massive 1.2 update. So just a quick backstory between me and Cyberpunk 2077. I got this game as a Christmas gift from my sister. Since December, I didn't touch the game even once. As like most people, I too saw the bug compilations and the angry feedback from everyone. The reason why I didn't want to play this game at that state, to me felt like I would quickly lose interest in the game. So I held off on playing it until the massive 1.2 update, which happened a few days ago. Now you would ask yourself, what do you mean when I say a fresh take? This review will be a perspective from someone who didn't have that trauma or didn't have that bad taste it left on most of the people that played the game when it came out. This will be an unbiased, fresh take from someone who just started playing Cyberpunk 2077 on PC. You might also ask yourself, why would you rather watch this instead of someone who has had hours on end put into the game? 3 reasons. 1, you could be just like me, starting the game and wanting to get a perspective from the same point of view. 2, you may be looking to buy this game and would like to have a fresh take on it. 3, you may have played this game a ton and looked at other reviews. You can basically use this review as a comparison from other games that experienced the horrors when this game was released. So the first thing that I want to talk about are the bugs and glitches. So I played this game for about 8 hours or so, and overall, I am enjoying myself. I'm also playing on very hard, which to me adds a layer of challenge. Some of the bugs I saw while playing my first 8 hours was, during a conversation, some NPC's lips wouldn't move. Some textures would take time to load in properly. I had this one gun which just wouldn't shoot until I dropped it from my inventory and picked it back up. Some items you find in the world you just can't pick up for some reason. A section early on in the game where my gun made no sound whatsoever, but it was doing damage, and a teleporting bag. If you notice, I have only had small glitches happen to me. As for game-breaking bugs, where I wouldn't be able to continue the progression of the story, so far, I haven't seen or experienced anything like that. To me, this does show promise, and I do hope those game-breaking bugs wouldn't happen to me, as I genuinely like my experience so far. The next thing that I want to talk about is the performance. My PC is a Ryzen 5 3600 and I have a 5600 XT for my GPU. It's not high-end stuff, so you might be able to relate to my PC build, especially to those who have mid-range PCs like myself. I set the settings to high and everything is set to default, and the game is running fine in my opinion. On average, I was getting around 60 to 55 FPS. In dense areas where there are a lot of NPCs and things just generally happening, I was getting around 60 to 50 FPS. During shootouts, I was around 58 to 50 FPS. While using OBS, I'd get minus 10 to minus 15 on my average FPS. But this might be connected to my OBS settings, and I'm still checking on that. I'll update you guys on the frames I get while using OBS after testing a few more things. I'll also test a few in-game settings to see how the game would react both with and without OBS. Overall, the performance is fine for a single-player game. To me, 60 frames per second on a single-player game is okay. Anything below 30 FPS on any game is unplayable. Last thing that I want to talk about is the gameplay. This is mainly for new players like me in the game. It took me a while to learn the leveling up system and the skill tree, and navigating through the menu was a bit confusing at first, but eventually I got good at that. The NPC civilians would act weirdly to crime. If you're in a building, some of the NPCs on different floors will freak out because of a crime you committed, while others just wouldn't care. Same thing when you're on the streets. There'd be crimes that you commit. Some NPCs would be freaking out while others was just walking like nothing ever happened. I also noticed that they didn't do that famous bug where if you punch a civilian and they would start panicking, when you face the other way and quickly face back where the NPC was, they would just disappear. As for the police, I haven't encountered them too much to properly gauge this, but the times I have had an experience with them, they didn't just pop up from thin air, which was okay. The enemy NPCs were surprisingly fun to face. I don't know if this is the same in easier difficulties, but in very hard, NPCs will try to surround you, and if you're in cover, they'll try to find angles to get you and will also use grenades effectively, which was surprising. Gunplay to me is not the best, but it's good for what it is. Driving is really bad. Cars feel really slippery, like you're driving on ice, and it feels like CDPR still thinks you're on a horse. The immersiveness and environment look really good and interesting to explore, but like the game, it's not perfect. My recommendations. I can understand why a lot of people stuck to this game and saw potential in it, as I too see the things that this game has to offer. An interesting setting, an interesting world, with interesting gameplay. I just wish, like so many others, that this game was released at a better state. If the game was released on this state where it's in right now, the 1.2 update, I think there would still be people who are mad, but overall, to me, the feedback from the community would have been a lot better. This game would have been acceptable. But with the hype and over marketing and over promise, this game was ruined in the eyes of many. So do I think you should buy this game now in its current state? My honest answer is no. If I didn't know the things I know now, how better it is from before, I'd look to buy another game and wait for more fixes. But knowing the things I know now, I'm happy that I got this as a gift, as I am enjoying my time playing Cyberpunk. If you're looking to buy this game, understand that there are two sides to my opinion. One side is if you could look past the glitches and have a decent rig to play this, then go for it. The other side is if you're looking to get a flawless game to enjoy and not worry about constant bugs, I would advise to look elsewhere. But at the end of the day, it is your money. Tell me in the comments, are you gonna buy this game? Tell me why or why not. So that's it for today, friends. If you made it this far and I help you in any way to help your decision and you like the video, hit that like button. If you want to see more Cyberpunk 2077, subscribe, as I'll be focusing on this content a lot more. Thanks for watching. Peace out.